As someone without children, I try not to give unsolicited parenting advice. But you should teach your kids how to cook.
The best way to teach your kids how to cook is with an educational cookbook, right?
Agreed. And we could buy one. But I don't have any plans with my spare time for the next couple of months.
What a coincidence. Neither do I. We should make a cookbook. How hard could it be? So what's the plan, Stan?
We've got to figure out exactly what type of food we're making.
Surely a tasty meal, right?
Has to be a tasty one.
I'm feeling a little bit spicy. How about tacos?
Love a taco, but a bit messy.
Okay, I'll reel it back in. Sandwiches?
It's a classic, but it reminds me of school lunch.
Surely you can't say no to ramen.
Difficult to deny ramen, but very time consuming, very complex.
I've got one last arrow in my quiver. Everybody loves pizza.
I adore pizza. Let's do that. So, what's the book gonna look like?
Well, I've always found it really difficult to visualize different combinations of ingredients unless it's all on the same page. So, hear me out here. I really like flip books.
I love flip books. I refuse to hear any other options.
We have our title page, got our intro and our index, then we've got the all-important safety section, the difference between this and losing all your fingers and that, and not losing any fingers, that's a big one. And it's shocking how many peeps I've seen not use that even as full-grown adults.
Well, some people never get taught.
How to make some dough.
Your sauces?
And then we're finally into the sort of select your toppings as you go through the book. You go, okay, well, I like mushrooms, and I like eggplant, and I also like marinara sauce. And then you'd flip them to construct the pizza you want.
And the flavors can be mixed and matched.
Let's critique this. What's the problems? I think there's another layer up here called garnishes. I think that's a thing we'll need.
So you have two toppings, you have a garnish, and you have a base.
Again, do we want a section in the back where people can write down their little recipes?
Absolutely, you want like a best of and worst of.
The worksheet at the back. We need an art style that we can actually pull off. So these are some watercolors. Watercolors have this beautiful vibrancy. And then there's an example of, you can get a little bit of blending and then you can do this black outline thing, right? If I try and dedicate the whole thing to painterly and oils or something, it's just not going to work. So
Have the book ready for 2028 Christmas.
Yeah, after I attend an art atelier. Yeah. Oh yes, we're going to do it in this style instead. Yeah, I'm sure I'll get there real quick. Like, I can do this. I can just knock that out, whatever.
Eventually.
Yeah, no, we're not doing that.
I think we've got a plan.
I think we've got the plan.
Making dough can seem really daunting, but it's actually very simple.
Mix flour and salt, some well-fed yeast, give it a stir, then knead it, and cover and prove. After about 10 minutes, take it out, stretch it, fold it over, and stretch it again the other way to align the gluten. Repeat that process every 10 minutes until it has an elastic feel.
And what you're left with at the end is some beautiful, pliable dough.
The best thing about pizza is the simplicity of preparation. Eggplant,
Sliced,
mushroom,
sliced,
tomato,
sliced,
capsicum.
sliced. Even the most complicated part of this pizza, the sauce, is really simple. You take some onions, garlic, and pureed tomato, and saute it in olive oil for a few minutes.
Now let's put it all together. Spread that sauce on, arrange your ingredients in a perfect geometric pattern, and then slap it in the oven on its highest heat for 8 to 12 minutes. Watch it like a hawk, and when it goes brown, take it out.
So easy a child could do it, and this is one of thousands of combinations that you could make.
While painting these, I got into a flow state and was reminiscing about the past. I learned to cook from my grandfather. Every week or two, we'd create a meal together for my entire family. It was the foundation for me to learn the essential life skill of cooking and has served me every day since. It was also the primary one-on-one interaction I had with him growing up, and we shared many in-depth conversations as two amateur chefs, rather than an adult and a child who's thoroughly sick of being asked how school is going. How else would I have learned the difference between investments and savings? Our hope is that this cookbook facilitates many similar interactions and acts as a catalyst for families sharing time together.
After struggling a bit with some new publishing software, we managed to take a spreadsheet of ingredients and transfer it to the page, along with illustrations to match. It was so rewarding to go from a glimmer of an idea to something that you could actually see and use. To be honest, before this very moment, I couldn't visualize the appearance and form of what we were doing. I could only grasp the concept. And I even learned a new graphic design term, kerning. I really enjoy it. Here's something I made all by myself.
Having good gear to start with means that you aren't limited by your tools. You're limited by, and believe me, this is true, your skills. I love this printer.
Home stretch.
We learned a few things while making the final prototype.
There's always another spelling mistake.
Stitching takes way too long. Use staples.
Scissors and craft knives make a hash of the flip page cuts. A scalpel is the only way to get a precise cut.
Everything can be improved upon, but don't let perfect be the enemy of done.
We finished the prototype just in time for someone's birthday. Last minute, we even included a sticker sheet.
That was difficult, but we learnt a whole bunch, and I'm really glad we saw it through.
People make entire careers out of any given portion of this project. Something we've learned is that the skill ceiling is unimaginably high, even in the most run-of-the-mill cookbook that you might find.
Now we have something that communicates our vision out into the world. Before, we were book buyers, and now we're bookmakers.
I think we should take a moment and appreciate what we have managed to do.